Hi, welcome back. Welcome to Tony's British English. Now, the last time we spoke, we looked at conditionals. Can you remember what we did? We have the zero conditional, facts, general truths, or imperatives. Then we had the first conditional, probability, threats and promises, amongst many other uses. Now, we're going to look at the second conditional. This is a very common tense in English. Very common. In fact, the word would is one of the most used words in English. Didn't know that, did you? Yeah, fascinating fact. So, today we're going to look at the second conditional. Yeah? The second conditional creates a sense of supposition. Supposition. We create a supposition, something which is unlikely or not going to happen, or maybe a possibility, but generally it is a supposition. Now, I've often thought about not being me. I've often thought about being an animal. What is my favorite animal? I don't know. What's your favorite animal? Well, let's take a lion, for example. A lion is strong. A lion is wild. A lion is king of the savannah. A lion has no predators. It's a lion. Wow. I would rather be a lion for one day than a sheep for 100 years. So lions, for humans, are a symbol of strength and bravery. So, let's make that a supposition. If I were an animal, comma, I would be a lion. It's true. If I were an animal, I would be a lion. I can never be a lion. It's impossible. I'm a human. I can never be a lion. But if I were an animal, I would be a lion. What would you be? If you were an animal, what would you be? My wife would be a butterfly. She would be a butterfly. Why? I don't know why. Because it's beautiful, I suppose. So, if my wife were an animal, she would be a butterfly. But I didn't marry a butterfly. I married my wife. It's impossible. I wouldn't generally marry a butterfly. They don't pay tax for one. So, we have this idea of a supposition. Something which is impossible, or something which is very, 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 very unlikely, or something which is maybe a possibility. But that's it. We use this particular construction so many different opportunities to use this tense. For example, if I win, if I won £1,000,000, I would live in Spain. I would live in Spain. Why? Because the weather is wonderful and so is the food. But the chances of me winning the lottery are 14 million to 1. 14 million to 1 chance. So I would have to buy 14 million tickets to win it once. I'm not going to win the lottery. It's not impossible, but it's not likely. It's not likely at all. But I can say, I can dream. If I won the lottery, I wouldn't have to work. If I won the lottery, I wouldn't be doing this. As an example. Right, so let's have a look at the structure. Let's have a look at the structure. So we have if plus past simple, if plus past simple plus conditional or would. There are other modal verbs we can use, but now let's look at would. So if I won the lottery, past simple, I would, conditional, give you £10,000. I'm not going to win the lottery, but it's nice to dream. So we have if plus past simple plus conditional would. Easy peasy. So now let's have a few examples. If I were you, I wouldn't buy that car. If I were you, I wouldn't buy that car. I can never be you. It's impossible to be you. But if I were you, I wouldn't buy that car. So again, we're giving advice. Another use of the second conditional is with advice. If I gave up chocolate, I would lose weight. If I gave up chocolate, I would lose weight. If I gave up chocolate, does that mean I'm going to give up chocolate? No, it doesn't mean anything. It's only a supposition. If I lived in a big house, I would be very happy. I would be very happy. When is this? If I won the lottery, where are we in time? Now. It's now. We're talking about now. If I lived in China, I would speak Chinese. If I lived in China, I would speak Chinese. I don't live in China. But if I did live in China, I would speak Chinese. If I went out tonight, I would go to an expensive restaurant. What does that mean? It doesn't mean anything. It's only a supposition. I'm creating a situation where there is no intention. There is no intention. Only supposition. Dreams. If I lived where you live, I would never come to England. If I lived where you live, I would never come to England. London, the weather, the food. Ugh. I would never, but I don't live where you live. So it's only a supposition. Now this is a very, very common tense in English, because let's not forget for one moment that in English we use conditionals, especially the second conditional, when we wish to be polite and to show respect. For example, oh, good afternoon, hello, how are you? Very well. Would you like a cup of tea? Would you like a cup of tea? Not, do you want a cup of tea? But, would you like a cup of tea? Would, I'm showing politeness. I'm showing respect. Would you like to sit down? Would you like to sit down? Would you like? Would you like? It's very, very polite. Could you open the window? Thank you. Could you open the window? Now, could is the past of can, but could in a conditional way to show politeness. Would you mind opening the window? Would you mind opening the window? Again, it's the same thing, yeah? We're showing respect by using the conditional, especially the second conditional. Okay, so if you were an animal, what would you be? If you were an animal, what would you be? If you won £1 million, what would you buy? What would you buy? I would buy a car for my wife. I would buy a car for my wife. Would. I'm not going to win £1 million, but it's nice to dream. Thank you very much. See you next time. Bye.